Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. Welcome to SS Easy Education. Today we will learn definition of company, characteristics of company, incorporation of company, disadvantages of incorporation and distinction with partnership firm. So generally a company is a natural legal entity formed by a group of individuals to engage in and operate a business, commercial or industrial enterprise with a view to earning some certain profits. A company may be organized in various ways for tax and financial liability purposes depending on the corporate law of its jurisdiction. So generally আমরা বলবো যে যদি বিজনেস পারপাজে অর্থাৎ কমার্শিয়াল পারপাজে সার্টেন প্রফিটসের উদ্দেশ্যে যদি কোনো ন্যাচারাল এন্টিটি এইভাবে ফর্ম করা হয় গ্রুপ অফ ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল ব্যক্তিদেরকে নিয়ে যাদের মেইন কাজই হবে বিজনেস করা এবং প্রফিট করা, তাকে আমরা কোম্পানি বলবো। Different scholars they define the company in different way. Chief Justice Marshall said, "A corporation is an artificial being, invisible, intangible, existing only in the contemplation of the law. Being a mere creation of law, it possesses only the properties which the charter of its creation confers upon it either expressly or as incidental to its very existence." লর্ড চিফ জাস্টিস মার্শালের ডেফিনেশনটাতেও বলা হয়েছে, দেখো যে কর্পোরেশন হলো একটা আর্টিফিশিয়াল বিইং, ইনট্যাঞ্জিবল, ইনভিজিবল, শুধুমাত্র এটি কীভাবে এক্সিস্ট করবে বলা হচ্ছে ইন কন্টেমপ্লেটিং অফ দ্য ল, অর্থাৎ ল দ্বারা এটিকে সৃষ্টি করা হবে এবং যেহেতু এটা লয়ের দ্বারাই সৃষ্টি, ইট প্রপোজেস অনলি দ্য প্রপার্টিজ হুইজ দ্য চার্টার অফ ইটস ক্রিয়েশন কনফার্স, অর্থাৎ যে চার্টারের মাধ্যমে এটিকে সৃষ্টি করা হবে সেই চার্টারের মাধ্যমে যে প্রপার্টিগুলো একে কনফার করা হবে, দেওয়া হবে, সেটাই সে পজেস করতে পারবে বা তার থাকবে। Lord Justice Lindley defines company as follows: a company is a contribution of money or money's worth to a common stock and employ it in some trade or business and that share the প্রফিট অ্যান্ড লস এগেনস্ট দেয়ার অফ। লিন্ডলের মতে তিনি কোম্পানিকে ডিফাইন করেছেন, তিনি বলেছেন কোম্পানি হচ্ছে মানি বা মানিজ অর্থের একটা কন্ট্রিবিউশন অফ মানি অর মানিজ অর্থ টু কমন স্টক অ্যান্ড এমপ্লয়েড ইন সাম ট্রেড অর বিজনেস। আজ আমরা দেখছি যে জেনারেল ডেফিনেশন এবং স্কলার্সদের ডেফিনেশনের মধ্যে কিছু মিল রয়েছে। মিলের ক্ষেত্রগুলো হচ্ছে যে কোম্পানি একটি ইনকর্পোরেট অ্যাসোসিয়েশন, ল দ্বারা সৃষ্টি হচ্ছে এবং এটি আর্টিফিশিয়াল পারসন, এর একটা আলাদা এন্টিটি আছে, প্লাস বলা হচ্ছে যে এর মেন অবজেক্টিভ হচ্ছে এটি বিজনেস করবার পারপাজেই মূলত সৃষ্টি করা হচ্ছে। দেন নেক্সট আমরা দেখব স্ট্যাটিউটরি ডেফিনেশন। সেকশন 2(1) of the Companies Act 1994 provides company means company formed and registered under this act or any existing company. সো স্ট্যাটিউটরি ডেফিনেশন খুবই ক্লিয়ারলি বলেছে যে এক্সিস্টিং যে কোম্পানিগুলো রয়েছে সেটাকেও আমরা কোম্পানি বলবো এবং এই আইন অনুযায়ী যেগুলোকে রেজিস্ট্রি করা হবে সেগুলোও কোম্পানি। নাও ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক্স অফ এ কোম্পানি। দ্য ফলোয়িং জেনারেল ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক্স অফ এ কোম্পানি ক্যান বি depicted. A company is an organization of some persons. It's a legal person created by law. It has separate legal entity and it extinguishes only by operation of law. And then the main characteristics of joint stock company may be classified into two broad categories. One is legal characteristics and another one is other common characteristics of a company. So firstly we will go through the legal characteristics of a company. First one, incorporate association. Company is an incorporate association. It comes into force the date of its registration. Besides, there are some specific rules to be maintained for carrying on its business. For establishing a company as an incorporate association, there must be at least 7% in case of public company and at least 2% in case of private company. And names of the person must included in the memorandum, which is known as MOA, Memorandum of Association. Otherwise, the institution will not be regarded as a legal one. Then number 2, artificial legal person. A company is an incorporate state institution created by law, so it's considered as an artificial legal person which can run business on its own name. It can sue and be sued. However, being a legal person, it can be act personally. Rather, it has to act through the board of directors. Bates versus a Standard Land Company, that the board of directors is the brains and the only brains of the company, which is the body, and the company can does act only through them. So company হচ্ছে আর্টিফিশিয়াল পারসন, এর যাবতীয় কাজের জন্য ন্যাচারাল পারসন অর্থাৎ বোর্ড অফ ডিরেক্টরসদের উপরে ডিপেন্ড করতে হয় এবং এটি ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি অনেক কাজ করতে পারে। Then number 3, limited liability. Except an unlimited company, the liability of the members of all other remaining companies is limited. The liability of the members, however, may be either limited by the shares or guarantee as provided by the memorandum of the company. So liability কি হয়, liability ডিটারমাইন করা থাকে কোম্পানির মেমোরান্ডামে, এটা লিমিটেড হতে পারে এবং মেম্বারদের liability. Separate property. Number 4, a company is considered to be a person in the eye of law, so it obviously has the right to hold and dispose of property as per its necessity. A member doesn't have insurable interest in the property of the company, so when a company is incorporated, belongs to separate property. And in this case, Makura was the holder of the nearly all of the shares except one of a timber company and was also a substantial creator. He insured the company's timber in his own name. The timber having been destroyed by fire, the insurance company was held not liable to pay compensation. The court held that no shareholder has any right to any item of property owned by the company, for he has no legal or equitable interest therein. এই কেসের মেইন থিমটাই হচ্ছে যে শেয়ার হোল্ডারদের এমন কোনো প্রপার্টিতে কোনো অধিকার থাকবে না যে প্রপার্টির মালিক কোম্পানি ইটসেলফ। দ্যাট ইজ কোম্পানি কোনো একটা প্রপার্টির মালিক হয়েছে বলে যে শেয়ার হোল্ডাররা সেটার মালিক হবে তা নয়। কোম্পানির সেপারেট প্রপার্টি থাকতে পারে। কোম্পানি ক্যান বাই প্রপার্টি অন হিজ ওন নেম। So this is a huge fact that company can hold separate property for itself. Perpetual succession. A company is said to have perpetual succession. Perpetual succession মানে হচ্ছে চিরস্থায়ী অস্তিত্ব। মানে এটা এজন্যই বলা হয় যে যেহেতু কোম্পানি আর্টিফিশিয়াল পারসন, সো ন্যাচারাল পারসনের মতো এর ন্যাচারাল ডেথ নাই। এটি সৃষ্টি হয় আইন দ্বারা এবং এটিকে আমরা ডিসপোজ করি অর্থাৎ ওয়াইন্ডিং আপ বা লিকুইডেশনেও যাই আইন অনুযায়ী, যার কারণে আমরা বলতে পারি ইট হ্যাজ পারপিচুয়াল সাকসেশন। Company is said to have perpetual succession and its perpetual is not affected in any way by the death, insolvency or exist of any shareholder. The members of a company may be died but the company doesn't. Even a hydrogen bomb cannot destroy it. Death or insolvency of a member does not affect the company's continuity. For example, A, B and C are the only members of the company holding all of its shares. Their shares may be transferred to or inherited by X, Y and Z, who may therefore become the new members and manages the company, but the company will remain same entity. Transferable shares. Another important advantages of public company is that it can transfer share, but the share of private company is closely restricted. That is, public company কেবলমাত্র তার শেয়ারটা ট্রান্সফার করতে পারে, কিন্তু প্রাইভেট কোম্পানির শেয়ারটি রেস্ট্রিক্টেড থাকে, সেটা ট্রান্সফার করা যায় না। কমন সিল নিয়ে বিধানটা এখানে আমি উল্লেখ করতে চাচ্ছি না, কারণ 2020-এর যে রিসেন্ট অ্যামেন্ডমেন্ট আসছে সেখানে কমন সিল যে যে সেকশানে বলা আছে সেই সব সেকশানের কমন সিল কথাটাকে আসলে রিপিল করা হয়েছে। সো নেক্সট, দেন ক্যাপাসিটি টু সু অ্যান্ড বি সুড. কোম্পানি বিইং এ বডি কর্পোরেট ক্যান সু অ্যান্ড বি সুড. Any form of legal action may arise for and against an incorporated company. Number of shareholders. The number of membership is also determined by the provision of law. Under the Companies Act, the minimum number of shareholders is 2 in case of private limited company, and it is 7 in case of public limited company. On the same way, the maximum number of shareholders is 50 in case of private company and unlimited number for public company. Separate legal entity. A company has a separate legal entity as clearly distinct from the independent of its member. As a company has separate legal entity and has own property, so the creditors can realize their money only from the company. No member of the company can demand the ownership and the distribution of the assets during the lifetime of the company. However, the principle of separate legal entity, it has been established in the case of Solomon versus Solomon and Company Limited. Company is not a citizen. Though a company is considered to be a legal person and it has separate legal entity, but it is not a citizen. This means a company cannot claim any right which can be claimed by a citizen. Apart from it, other rights enshrined in the constitution for a non-citizen may be available for a company. Other common characteristics: at first, registration. A company gets the legal status only after its registration. However, in case of partnership firm, registration is not necessary. So প্রথম বৈশিষ্ট্যই হচ্ছে রেজিস্ট্রেশন এবং কোম্পানিকে অবশ্যই নিবন্ধন করতে হবে। Then voluntary association. A company is an association of many persons on a voluntary basis, so a company is formed only with the consent of the members. অর্থাৎ কোম্পানি কি স্বেচ্ছায় হতে হবে, এই জন্য যারা কোম্পানিতে মেম্বার হিসেবে থাকবে তারা স্বেচ্ছায় কোম্পানিতে অংশগ্রহণ করবে, কোম্পানিটা গঠন করবে। ম্যানেজমেন্ট: the company is a legal person and not natural, so it has to act only through the board of directors, and there are also full-time director, managing director or managed in a company. Capital is the fundamental for carrying on business, so a company must have capital, otherwise it cannot function at all. Statutory obligation: for a company, some statutory obligations are to be maintained compulsorily. It has to hold a statutory or other meetings as provided by the Companies Act. There are also other obligations: filing balance sheet, maintaining proper accounts books and registers, etc. So company has to perform many statutory obligation. Then residence: a company should have a residence. A company doesn't possess any fundamental rights. Autonomous body: though from the incorporation till winding up a company has to follow the provisions of law, still it is considered as an autonomous body. Definite objectives and purpose: a company should have definite objectives and purpose. It must act according to its objectives mentioned in its memorandum of association and articles. Even all the shareholders, if considered, cannot act ultra vires. Liquidation: the event organization, that is liquidation of a company, is also ceremonial like its incorporation. A company cannot be owned up by the mere wish of the shareholders. For the winding up, it has to maintain some procedures according to the Companies Act 1994. কোম্পানি একটি স্বায়ত্তশাসিত বডি, কোম্পানির একটা নির্ধারিত অবজেক্টিভস থাকবে এবং উদ্দেশ্য থাকবে। আর লিকুইডেশন মানে হচ্ছে কোম্পানির পরিসমাপ্তি ঘটা। কোম্পানির পরিসমাপ্তি একদিনের কাজ নয়, এটিও একটি ফাংশনাল ওয়ে। And then independent corporate existence. Under section 24(2) of the Companies Act 1994, when a company is registered, it become a corporate legal entity which is distinct from its member. So a company is an independent corporate existence. As soon as it is registered, it becomes an individual with all legal rights, duties and liabilities. It is the foremost feature of a company. The independent corporate existence of a company was first established in 1897 by the following landmark case: Solomon versus Solomon case. One, Solomon was a boot and shoe manufacturer. His business was in sound condition and there was a substantial surpluses of assets over liabilities. He incorporated a company named Solomon and Company Limited for the purposes of taking over and carrying on his business. The 7 subscribers to the memorandum were Solomon, his wife, his daughters, his 4 sons, and they remained only members of the company. Solomon and 2 of his sons constituted the board of directors. Then the business of Solomon was transferred to the company for £40,000. In payment, Solomon took 20,000 shares of £1 each and debentures worth £10,000. The debenture certified that the company owed Solomon £10,000 and created a charge on the company's assets. One share was given to each remaining member of his family. The company went into liquidation within 1 year. On winding up, the state of affairs was broadly something like this: assets of £6,000, liabilities Solomon as debenture holder £10,000, and unsecured creditors £7,000. Thus, after paying the debenture holders, that is Solomon, nothing left for the unsecured creditors. The unsecured creditors therefore contended that, though incorporation under the Act, the company never had an independent existence. It was in fact Solomon under another name. He was the managing director, and the other directors being his sons and under his control. এখানে সলোমনের এই কেসে ছিল এরকম যে সলোমন তার যে 10,000 পাউন্ড ছিল সে কোম্পানিতে শেয়ার কিনেছিল এবং সেটা কোম্পানির অ্যাসেটসের উপরে চার্জ আকারে ছিল। সো লিকুইডেশনে যাওয়ার সময় প্রথমে তার এই চার্জটাই পরিশোধ করতে হবে, এরকম একটা বিষয় এসে দাঁড়ায়। তখন আনসিকিউর্ড ক্রেডিটরদেরকে দেওয়ার মতো কোনো অর্থই থাকে না। দেন আসলে আনসিকিউর্ড ক্রেডিটররাই এই মামলাটা আনয়ন করে যে কেন আগে আসলে সলোমনকে দেওয়া হবে, কেন তাদেরকে নয়। এবং আনসিকিউর্ড ক্রেডিটররা দাবি করে যে কোম্পানির কোনো আলাদা অস্তিত্ব নেই, কারণ এই কোম্পানির ম্যানেজিং ডিরেক্টর এবং অন্যান্য ডিরেক্টর এরা সবাই ছিল তার পুত্র এবং তার কন্ট্রোলেই ছিল। But it was held that Solomon and Company Limited was a real company fulfilling all the legal requirements. It must be treated as a company, as an entity consisting of certain corporations, but a distinct and separate corporation. Their Lordship of House of Lords observe, when the memorandum is duly signed and registered, though there be only 7 shares taken, the subscriber are a body corporate capable forthwith of exercising all the functions of an incorporated company. The company is at law a different person altogether from the subscribers of the memorandum. And though it may be that after incorporation the business is precisely the same as before, the same persons are managers and the same hands receive the profits of the company is not in law their agent or trustee. There is nothing in the Act requiring that the subscribers to the memorandum should be independent or unconnected, or that they should have one mind or will be their own, and that there should be anything like a balance of power in the constitutions of the company. সো এখানে কোর্ট অবজারভেশন দিয়েছিল যে আসলে যে কোম্পানিকে হতেই হবে এরকম আলাদা কোনো পার্সন বা এন্টিটি বা এজেন্টস বা ট্রাস্টির উপরে ক্ষমতা থাকতে হবে তা নয়। এখানে সেম পার্সনের উপরেও ক্ষমতা থাকতে পারে এবং সেম পার্সনও ক্ষমতা ব্যবহার করতে পারে, কারণ কোম্পানি আইনে কিন্তু এরকম কোনোই নিষেধাজ্ঞা দেওয়া নাই যে সেম পার্সন মেমোরান্ডামের সদস্য হতে পারবে না বা মেম্বারশিপ বা সাবস্ক্রাইবার থাকতে পারবে না, এবং সাবস্ক্রিপশন লিস্টে তাদের নাম থাকলে তারা কোনো রকম কোনো শেয়ার চার্জ করতে পারবে না বা বেনিফিট পরবর্তীতে পাবে না সেই অনুযায়ী। The principle has been recognized in India even before Solomon case. The decision of Calcutta High Court in Kandoliti Company Limited Re 1886 seems to be first on this subject. In this case, certain persons transferred a tea estate to a company and claimed exemption from ad valorem duty on the ground that they themselves were the shareholders in the company, and therefore it was nothing but a transfer from them in one to themselves under one another name. Rejecting this court observed, the company was a separate person, a separate body altogether from the shareholders, and transferred as much a convenience, a transfer of the property, as if the shareholders had been totally different person. সো ইন্ডিয়ারেও এরকম একটা সেম কেস ছিল, কিন্তু এই সময়ের আগে 1886 সালে ইন্ডিয়াতে এই সেপারেট এন্টিটিটা ইস্টাবলিশড ছিল। And then in Dhulia Amalnar Motor Transport Limited versus R.R. Dharamsi 1952, a partnership firm carrying on the business of plying buses, having worked for some time, some of the partners formed a private limited company. Such of the partners who formed the company sold to the company their own buses, which were therefore used by the firm. The other partners who constituted the minority sued the section forming the company for accounts and their share of the profits on the ground that in reality the company was not a different entity from the firm and that the business carried on by it was the same as that of the firm. And it was held that the plaintiff had no legal right to sue for the accounts of the business done by the company, which was altogether a third person. Buses which the company was plying were the property not of its shareholders but of the company itself. The company was a corporate body whose entity was entirely different from the entities of the shareholders. এবং এরকম আরও একটা কেস 1952 সালেও হয়েছিল এবং সেখানেও কিন্তু কোর্ট ঘোষণা করেছে যে কোম্পানি একটা কর্পোরেট বডি এবং এটি শেয়ার হোল্ডারদের থেকে সম্পূর্ণভাবেই আলাদা এবং কোম্পানি যদি কোনো বিজনেস করে সেই বিজনেসের প্রফিটের মালিক শুধুই কোম্পানি, নট দ্য শেয়ার হোল্ডার্স অ্যাট অল। Now, disadvantages of incorporation. There are some disadvantages of incorporation. Number one is lifting the corporate veil. The theory of corporate entity is indeed the basic principle on which the whole law of corporation is based. But there are circumstances which compel the court to identify the company with its members. There are situations where the court will lift the veil of incorporation in order to examine the realities which lay behind. In doing so, the court may lift the corporate veil to identify the members of the company and thus make the directors personally liable or ignore the separate entity of a company which is a member of a group of companies or a subsidiary to a principal or parent company and declared it identical with that parent company as its agent. This concept is based principally on the discretion of the court, but in the Companies Act 1994, some provisions are made to hold the directors personally liable despite the fact that the company is a separate legal entity. The case laws and the statutory provisions are discussed below. In the case of R versus MC Donnell, 1966, the managing director of a company, being the sole director of the company, committed fraud with another company. Here the company cannot be convicted of conspiring with its sole director. In the circumstances, the court said where the sole responsible person in the company is the defendant himself, it would not be right to say that there were no two persons or two minds. The corporate veil is said to be lifted when the court ignores the company and concerns itself directly with the members or managers. The circumstances under which the courts will lift the corporate veil are as follows. Determination of the character. Occasionally, it becomes necessary to determine the character of a company, for example, to see whether it's enemy company or not. In such a case, the courts may in their discretion examine the character of persons in real control of the corporate office. So, in this case, বলা হচ্ছে যে ক্যারেক্টার ডিটারমাইন করার ক্ষেত্রে কর্পোরেট যে অ্যাফেয়ার্স রয়েছে কোম্পানির, সামটাইমস কোম্পানিকে কর্পোরেট ভেলটা লিফট করতে হয়, অর্থাৎ ত্যাগ করতে হয়। তার মানে দেখতে হয় যে কোম্পানি আর্টিফিশিয়াল পারসন বা সেপারেট এন্টিটি নেই, এটা ধরতে হয়, একই ধরতে হয় কোম্পানিকে। অ্যান্ড দেন এ কোম্পানি ইন ডেইনমার কোম্পানি ভার্সেস কন্টিনেন্টাল টায়ার and Rubber Company 1916. A company was incorporated in England for the purposes of selling tires manufactured in Germany by German company. The German company held the bulk of shares in the English company. The holders of the remaining shares except one and all the directors were Germans resident in Germany. Thus the real control of the English company was in German hands. During the First World War, the English company commenced an action to recover a trade debt, and the question was whether the company had become an enemy company and should therefore be barred from maintaining the action. That is, in that case, company কিন্তু তার corporate veilটা left করেছিল. The House of Lords laid down that a company incorporated in UK is a legal entity, a creation of law with the status and capacity which the law confers. It's not a natural person with mind or conscience. It can be neither loyal nor disloyal. It can be neither friend nor enemy, but it may assume an enemy character when persons in de facto control of its affairs are residents in any enemy country, or wherever residents are acting under the control of enemies. Accordingly, the company was not allowed to proceed with action. If the action had been allowed, the company would have been used as machinery which would accomplish the purpose of giving money to the enemy. That would be monstrous and against the public policy. But where there is no such danger to public interest, the courts may refuse to tear upon the corporate veil. সো হাউস অফ লর্ড এখানে কিন্তু ক্লিয়ারলি বলে দিয়েছে যে কোন ক্ষেত্রে কর্পোরেট ভেইল উন্মোচন হবে এবং কোন ক্ষেত্রে হবে না। দেন পিপলস প্লেজার পার্ক কোম্পানি ভার্সেস রোহেলদার 1908, certain lands were transferred with express stipulation that property cannot be sold to the colored person. The property was transferred to a company composed exclusively Negroes. Action was brought to annul the conveyance. The court rejected the argument and held that members individually or collectively are not the corporation. The company is a separate entity. Members may be black or white, but company has no color. For the benefit of the revenue, this is the second point, the court has the power to disregard corporate entity if it is used for the tax evasion or to circumvent tax obligation. অর্থাৎ সামটাইমস রেভিনিউ বেনিফিটের কারণেও কর্পোরেট ভেল কোম্পানি অনেক সময় কি কর্পোরেট ভেলটা পর্দাটা সরাতে পারে। দেন কেস ডিনশো ম্যানেকজি পেটিটিরি 1927, Assisi was a wealthy man enjoying huge dividend and interest income. He formed 4 private companies and dividended his income into 4 parts to reduce his tax liability. The court held that the companies were formed purely and simply as a means of avoiding super tax, and the companies were nothing but the Assisi himself. So the court lifted the corporate veil and considered the companies and the Assisi as the same entity. Fraud on improper conduct, this is the another part. The courts will refuse to uphold the separate existence of the company where it is formed to defeat law or to defraud creditors or to avoid legal obligations. One clear illustration of this principle is Guilford Motor Company versus Horn 1933. And Horn was appointed as the managing director of the plaintiff company on the condition that he shall not at any time while he shall hold the office of MD or afterwards solicit or entice away the customers of the company. His employment was determined under an agreement. Shortly afterwards, he opened a business in the name of a company which solicited the plaintiff's customers. It was held that the defendant company was a mere channel used by the defendant Horn for the purposes of enabling him for his own benefit to obtain the advantages of the customers of the plaintiff company, and that the defendant company ought to be registered as well as the defendant Horn. Then next point, agency, trust and government companies. A company may sometimes be regarded as an agent or trustee of its members or another company, and may therefore be deemed to have lost its individuality in favor of its principal. According to Chohan, Lord Justice, a parent company and a subsidiary company, even 100% subsidiary company, are distinct legal entities, and in the absence of an agency contract between the two companies, one cannot be said to be the agent of the another. Atkinson Justice first noted the rule that it is well settled that the mere fact that a man holds all the shares in a company does not make the business carried on by that company his business. It is well settled that there may be such an arrangement between the shareholders and a company as will constitute the company the shareholders, agent for the purposes of carrying on the business and make it the business of the shareholders. According the learned judge, he referred 6 points which are useful for ascertaining who really was carrying on the business. Where the profit treated as the profits of the parent company, where the persons conducting the business appointed by the parent company, Was the company the head and brain of the trading company? Did the company govern the adventure, decide what should be done and what capital should be embarked on the venture? Did the company make the profit by its skill and direction? Was the company in constant and effectual control? If the conditions are fulfilled, the subsidiary company loses its separate personality and is treated as the agent of the principal company. And then statutory provision. Under section 222 of the Companies Act 1994, if at any time the number of the members falls below the prescribed minimum and the company carries on its business with that reduced shareholding, that is less than 2 members for private and less than 7 members in case of public company, for more than 6 months, then the remaining members who know that this is a state of affairs will be personally liable for all the debts the company contracts after the set period of 6 months. অর্থাৎ প্রাইভেট এবং পাবলিক লিমিটেড কোম্পানির যদি প্রয়োজনের চাইতে কম মেম্বার থাকে এবং তা নিয়ে যদি তারা 6 মাসের বেশি সময় বিজনেস পরিচালনা করে, তাহলে 6 মাস সময়ের পর থেকে যে বিজনেস কন্ট্রাক্টগুলো হবে সেটার জন্য কিন্তু কোম্পানি দায়ী থাকবে না। And then section 78 requires a company to display in front of its office its name and register address and also show its name on its seal, billheads, notice and advertisement, etc. Section 79 provides that if a company which defaults in complying with the provisions of section 78, then every officer who has knowingly or willfully approved of the default will be liable to penalty and personally responsible for any debt of the company contracted on the billheads, etc. Thus, the directors were held personally liable on a check signed by them of a company stating the company's name as L.R. Agencies Limited, the real name being L&R Agencies Limited. Section 75 of the Act provides that in a limited company, the liability of the directors or any director may be unlimited, if so provided by the memorandum. If a director holds any office, then his liability may also be unlimited. As an officer of, if he is a director whose liability is unlimited, even if he does not provide for the liability of a director to be unlimited, a limited company, if so authorized by its articles, may by special resolution alter its resolution so as to render unlimited the liability of the directors. Section 186 of the Act requires a holding company to attach with its balance sheet the auditor's report, profit and loss account and certain other information of its subsidiaries. The statute thus seeks to publish a broad picture of the entire group of the companies and ignore the separate entity of the subsidiary companies. So in that case, corporate veil is not existed under the Companies Act 1994. And then formality and expenses. Another disadvantages of corporation is its expense and formality. Incorporation is a very expensive affair and requires a number of formalities to be complied with. As compared with it, the formation of partnership is very simple. Again, administration of a company has to be carried on strictly in accordance with the provisions of the Act. তো আমরা কিন্তু ইনকর্পোরেশনের ডিসঅ্যাডভান্টেজগুলো পড়ছিলাম। নাম্বার 1-এ পড়লাম কর্পোরেট ভেইলের, নাম্বার 2 ফর্মালিটি, দেন নাম্বার 3 কোম্পানি ইজ নট এ সিটিজেন। Neither the Constitution of Bangladesh nor the Companies Act attributes citizenship towards a company. All the members of a company are Bangladeshi citizens does not necessarily mean that the company is a Bangladeshi citizen. A company is, however, a person in the eye of law, and it can claim the protection of such fundamental rights as are guaranteed to all persons, whether citizens or not. The company has, however, nationality of that country where it was incorporated and residence where it keeps a house and does business. Now the last part, distinction between company and the partnership. In this part, I just mentioned the point as to title of the member. পার্টনারশিপ ফার্মের মেম্বারদেরকে বলা হয় পার্টনার, কিন্তু কোম্পানির মেম্বারদেরকে শেয়ার হোল্ডার। As to laws which they are governed, পার্টনারশিপ অ্যাক্ট 1932 দিয়ে পার্টনারশিপ ফার্ম গভর্ন করা হয় আর কোম্পানিজ অ্যাক্ট 1994 দিয়ে কোম্পানি গভর্ন করা হয়। দেন অ্যাজ টু নাম্বার অফ মেম্বার্স, পার্টনারের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা পাবলিক এবং প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড ক্ষেত্রে কোম্পানির ক্ষেত্রে জানি, আর ব্যাংকিং বিজনেসের ক্ষেত্রে ম্যাক্সিমাম নাম্বার অফ মেম্বার্স ক্যান বি 10 অ্যান্ড আদার কেসেস 20। অ্যাজ টু রেজিস্ট্রেশন, পার্টনারশিপ ফার্মে ম্যান্ডেটরি নয়, কোম্পানিতে ম্যান্ডেটরি। অ্যাজ টু রিকোয়ার্ড ডকুমেন্ট, partnership deed agreement document is the mandatory document for creation of partnership firm, but in case of company, memorandum, articles of association, prospectus, these are essential for incorporation of a company, mainly MOA and AOA. As to legal entity, partnership firm has not any separate legal entity, it is the same as its partners, but company has separate entity. As to liability of members, partners have unlimited liability in all matters relating to partnership firm, but shareholder and promoters have limited liability to capital of the company. As to accounts and audit, as to common seal নিয়ে বলবো না। as to management of the activities of a partnership firm is usually done by the working partners, but management of the activities of a company done by the board of director. As to succession, partnership firm, the death or retirement of a partner dissolve the partnership in the absence of a contract, but a company exists irrespective of the death of or the retirement of member. As to transfer of share, a partner cannot accept agreement with his co-partner substitute another partner for himself, but except private companies, the shares of the public companies are freely transferable. Alteration of basic document, in partnership firm, agreement being the basic document may be liable to be altered on the wish of the partners, but the company is bound by its article of association and memorandum of association. The power to alter these documents may be exercised to a limited extent per law. So আইন অনুযায়ী কিন্তু লিমিটেড এক্সটেন্টে এটা করা হয়। এখন তোমাদের যদি কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে প্লিজ কমেন্টস বক্সে কোশ্চেনগুলো তোমরা লিখো, আমি তাহলে জানতে পারবো তোমাদের কী ধরনের প্রবলেম হচ্ছে। সো দ্যাটস অল ফর টুডে। প্লিজ ইফ ইউ হ্যাভ এনি কোশ্চেন পুটস ইটস অন দ্য কমেন্টস বক্স বিলো। মিট ইউ সুন ইনশাল্লাহ। আল্লাহ হাফেজ।